Wow, what a spot. Check the stream out. It flows into a creek over there. Really cool. I actually grew up not too far from here for about 10 years before moving to a different house for the remainder of my childhood. But already I could see fish down here, so let's get some bait in the water. I'm really excited. I can look right there. I can already see a fish right over there. I don't know what species of fish that is. It's either a gar or a bowfin. Not sure yet. I've got stuff that can catch either. Let me show you what we're using for bait today. It's actually just a bit of rancid shrimp that I found. I did not go buy any bait today. I was doing something else. Found a whole bunch of shrimp that somebody had discarded that hadn't been completely devoured by birds and bugs yet. I just put that on a jig head just now, and we're gonna catch a fish with it. Now let's see here. It's tempting to throw over there where that fish was. However, I know there's going to be some good fish hanging out at the base of the spillway. I've not fished here with shrimp before. I've used night crawlers on a jig head, but I mean, if a fish eats one, it's going to eat the other. Oh, right there. It's a gar. That's a gar right there. Oh, we're on something big. He's taking it out there. He's putting up a good fight. Wow, pull and drag. Could be a drum. There's some drum in here. Yeah, look at him go. I'm gonna loosen up the drag just a click. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a good fish. What is that? Man, I keep trying to get a look at it, but whatever it is, it's a good sized fish. Is that a catfish? Yeah, it's a catfish. Look at that. Oh, he's a nice fish. Let's see here. This clay gets kind of slippery. I'm glad to see all these craters. I'm actually glad these craters are here. Just sink my heels into a crater as I step. That way I won't slip. Fish in the net. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that, and we're gonna fry it. So we're gonna do a little bit of indoor cooking, but you know, outdoor sourcing. Oh, stop it. This is a good eating size channel cat right here. And I trust this creek enough to eat this fish. Really pretty animal. Let's put him on a stringer, keep him fresh. Beautiful. Man, that is a good sized catfish right there. That's a nice one. Nope, don't want to lose him. He bit right in the flow down there. That's where he was hiding, right there. Beautiful catfish. All right. I want to keep him alive. I don't want to disturb the swim while I'm down here, so I'm gonna put him right here in the current. He will stay alive in that current. That water is gonna flow over his gills, and then I'm just gonna tie this down. Here we go, with a big rock, like this. There. He'll stay alive for a bit, and then I can have a few more throws over here. I won't waste too much time, because that's see what I was saying? Slippery clay. All right, one last go. Let's Get it out there. God, there's so many flies and gnats down here just buzzing around my face. Even though I've got on a ton of mosquito spray, they don't care. Mosquitoes aren't biting me, but these gnats are. Honestly, they might be worse. There's a lot of them out and about this time of year. Oh, yes, oh, something. I just saw a flash and then I felt the pole, but I missed it. Ah, again. It's gotta be like a long ear. I think he's hiding right there. Yeah, look at that. He hit us. Didn't even know he was there. He cleaned us out again. Sneaky little guy. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, he's a nice one. What a pretty fish. That is a nice fish. Beautiful fish. If I had more time, I'd use him as bait because I know there's some big alligator gar down to my left. But we don't have more time. I want to get home and cook up our catfish that we caught. So let's put this guy back. Say goodbye. All right, he's dispatched. We got the gills and the guts. We're gonna throw those back. There's all kinds of animals in there that'll utilize that. And it looks like I'm about to throw him back in, but I'm just gonna give him the most basic wash, just basically so I don't track a bunch of mud in my car. This is not cleaning the fish for consumption. I'm gonna do that at home very thoroughly. This is just me cleaning him out for the ice chest in the car. So here we go. That's a nice catfish. That is a lot of meat. And catfish is not a fish that is really highly desired by a lot of people that, you know, like fancier things in life. But we're simple. And, you know, fried and maybe on a sandwich, that's gonna taste pretty good. So let's get it home and do just that. All right, get the flour in the bowl. Hope I have enough flour in here. I think I have another bag in the cabinet. There we go. We don't need too much. That should do right there. Get some black pepper in there. I know that's a lot, but I don't want to get the ratio wrong and put in too much flour to too much spice, because then you won't taste anything. Why are you not? Aha! That's why. There we go. A bit of cayenne pepper. This is just for me. I like things to be a bit strong and a bit spicy. I'm just going to add a little bit of cornmeal into the mix. Again, just kind of brush that around. Alright, here is just a little bit of that catfish that we caught. Now, I wanted to do the fillets and all that good stuff on camera, but this is actually a day or so later, and I couldn't justify keeping that entire catfish as is in the refrigerator. I kind of had to deal with it straight away. Didn't have time to get the lighting set up and all the camera batteries charged again. So already cut, not too pretty, but I mean, that's a decent fillet. This one right here, just gonna be a little bit of extra meat to go on our sandwich. So let's dip that in the batter over there. Let's get our catfish in the mix. There we go. Don't want too much of that on there. just enough to coat it, otherwise it's just gonna all fall off. Boom, 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 boom. Flip that over. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, that looks nice. Shake that off. Yeah, that's perfect. Go here, get that in there. Shake off the excess. And drop it in. Boom. You don't want it to be clumpy. You don't want it to stick on there as little clumps. You want it to be coated as a fine powder, I think. Some vegetable oil in the pan here. This is cast iron. You really, well, who cooks fish in anything but cast iron? There we go, that's enough. My little puppy's getting very anxious right now that I have all this food that she doesn't get to have, so let's give her something to keep her calm. What? You see it? Good girl. Dolly, can you say hi to everybody? All right, fish in. Woo. That was a mistake. Never lay the fish or anything into hot oil coming towards you. Don't do that, kids. Don't bark. She's very mad when she can't get in the kitchen. You're okay, Boo Bear. All right, that is done. Oh, look at that. It broke open, and look at that beautiful white flesh in there. Gigantic stick of French bread. Got a bread knife in here. There we go. Just cut this right here. Boom. Beautiful. And let's go a third of this. There we go. Now this is very hard right now. It's very dense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it in the oven and warm it up for just a moment. All right, get that bread in there. This will only take a couple of minutes. We're not trying to cook anything. We're just trying to warm it up a little bit. First, let's crush up this garlic. Of course, just put a bit of salt in there. Interestingly, it doesn't apply here, but if you mix a little bit of salt into your garlic as you're chopping it, it helps keep its shape a little bit better. So if you're trying to get really fine minced garlic without turning it into a paste, that helps, adding a little bit of salt. We are literally turning this into a mush, a paste if you will, so that does not apply at all. Melt some butter. It's already starting to skate. That's good. Perfect, just like that. Cutting it up into little pieces obviously going to help it melt faster. Just surface area to volume ratio changes. All right, here's the garlic that we had. And that's why I wanted it as a fine paste. It's going to melt right into that butter. Stir that around a little bit. All right, bread is nice and warm. You guys can see the difference. Ooh, that's the way it should be right there. Let's get our bread knife back. And I'm just going to cut right down the side of that. Open that up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you see the steam coming off of that? Oh, that is going to taste delicious. Ugh. Pour a little bit of that garlic and butter in here. Open that sandwich bread up just a little bit. There you go. I'm just going to press it down in there just like that. That smells so good, that garlic and butter. Oh my goodness. It's amazing how a smell of a food like that can just transport you back to a memory. And that's making me think of eating in a Italian restaurant with certain family members when I was a kid. I remember it very specifically, where I was, who I was with, just because of that smell just brought it right back. I wasn't eating this. I was actually eating a pasta with shrimp in it, but the garlic and the butter was the connecting ingredient. And that's where I go immediately when I smell that, is that memory. So cool how that works. One of the reasons I think food is so important to us is that it activates memories that way. Creates memories, and it brings them back. That is beautiful. I'm going to slice this relatively thin. So it's important to have a very good sharp knife. Now, I'm not a huge fan of tomato, but the recipe I found called for it, so I want to use it. And there's many, many ways to make this sandwich that we're making. Don't look at this and say, that's not the way I learned, or that's not the way this guy does it. There's a bunch of different ways. There's probably a bunch that are better than this one, but I'm just following a basic recipe I found online. I'm not making this up, just going off of what I learned from somebody else. There we go, nice thin slices of tomato. Just gonna spoon a little bit more of this butter onto this bread because, hey, why not? There we go, beautiful. A little bit of this remoulade sauce. Go, just spread that around. Don't want too much of this stuff. Sauces like this can be overpowering, and that's not something you really want. Overpowering. It's never really something that belongs in well-cooked food. Nothing should overpower anything else. They should complement each other, not overpower each other. I know I'm talking like somebody who knows how to cook really well. I don't. I just know that to be a principle that applies to food most times. Fresh lettuce. Let's go ahead and get our fish on here. That smells amazing. Look at that. That fits perfectly. And a few of the little nuggets here can kind of make up the end. Let's get some of this lettuce just right across that fish there. Just long. Actually, I don't want to do long strips. You know what happens when you put a long strip of a vegetable on a sandwich? You take a bite and all you get back is the long strip of the vegetable. There we go, just a little bit of that on here. You can put coleslaw on this. That actually would have been amazing, I think. I just didn't have the time to make it, and I felt guilty about store buying it. I was already store buying the sauce, so I didn't want to store buy anything else. Let's put a few slices of the tomato on here. Again, not a huge fan of tomatoes, but when used correctly, I guess they're okay. At the very least, it adds a lot of color to your food, and that is always nice. Look at that. Oh my goodness. My little puppy dog is on her back feet trying to see what we got. Golly. What? What'd you think? She's like, I too also like catfish on my sandwiches. Did you know that? She says, did you know that? Did you know I like catfish too? Okay, you cannot tell Mama. Good girl. Good girl. All right. I'm actually quite excited about this. Sometimes with the fish I catch on the show, it's a little bit more about, you know, the fact that we're catching and eating something, not that we're going to catch and eat something that looks absolutely delicious. So let's tuck into this. That's really good. That's really good. I would actually pay, you know, $8 or $9 for something like this from a restaurant. You know, when you go to Galveston, this is the kind of thing I think about eating when I go to Galveston sometimes. Real nice. Absolutely delicious. That catfish is so good. Look at that. I'm not the only one who thinks so. What do you think? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good. You think everything's good. Just my biggest fan. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for us today. A very quick trip on the water turned into a couple of hours of preparation in the kitchen, but I had a really good time and the food actually tastes really good. That was just a basic catfish po' boy. I mean, that is about as basic as it gets. You can put coleslaw and all other kinds of, you know, nicer ingredients on your sandwich to make it taste really good. This is a very basic recipe that I followed. You know, bare minimal supplies, you know, flour, Old Bay seasoning, cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, olive oil, vegetable oil. I know I'm naming a lot of things, but these are common things. Look in your kitchen, you can find these things. Tomato, lettuce, the fish itself, some French bread. The only thing I bought that I don't think you could probably find in your kitchen or make with basic supplies was the remoulade sauce. You can make this, but I just went and I just bought some basics for it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Head over to our other channel, Wildlife. That's where we do the catch and release fishing. Much bigger fish over there. You know, we catch alligator gar up to 100 pounds, sharks, big catfish, all kinds of good stuff like that. More is coming. Stay tuned, and until it's here, I will see you guys later.